Ryan stepped into the diner, the chill from outside still clinging to his coat. He glanced over the menu absent-mindedly until a familiar voice stopped him in his tracks. He looked up. Madeline Brooks, his closest friend from college, the one who once had a brilliant future. But now she wore a faded apron, carrying a tray full of coffee, her smile barely hiding the exhaustion in her eyes. How had she ended up here? And what Ryan was about to do would leave everyone in the diner speechless. Life can change in a single moment. Do you believe in miracles? Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss more inspiring stories. Ryan Carter stepped into the diner, his expensive suit still carrying a trace of the cold rain outside. It was clear he didn't belong here, from his polished leather shoes to the multi-million-dollar watch on his wrist. But the moment his eyes landed on a waitress in the crowd, the entire world seemed to stop. "Table 3 needs a refill, Han!" That voice. Ryan froze, his hand halted midair. Slowly, his gaze swept across the bustling diner until it landed on her. Madeline Brooks, his closest friend from college, the one who had stayed up with him through sleepless nights, sharing dreams too big for the world to understand. The brilliant, ambitious woman who once planned to change everything. And now she was just a waitress, her eyes weary as she carried a tray of coffee. At that moment, Ryan knew he couldn't walk away like he had never seen her. His closest friend from college, the one who had stayed up all night working beside him, who had believed in his wild ideas when no one else did, one of the smartest, most driven people he had ever known. And yet, here she was, her once bright future now reduced to a faded uniform and an exhausted smile. A tray balanced in her hands as she refilled coffee cups and jotted down orders, her movements quick but weary. Ryan was a billionaire. Madeline was a waitress. At that moment, reality hit him like a gut punch. She still hadn't noticed him. But Ryan couldn't just walk away. Not this time. And what he was about to do next would leave everyone in that diner speechless. His mind spun. How had Madeline ended up here? Back in college, she had been unstoppable, brilliant, ambitious, with dreams of building a publishing empire. She was meant to change the literary world. And now, she was just pouring coffee for minimum wage. Ryan refused to accept that. A few moments later, Madeline approached his table, a notepad in hand. "Welcome to Sam's Diner. What can I get you?" She smiled, a polite, automatic gesture. Then she looked at him, and everything stopped. Her entire body went still, the notepad slipping slightly in her grip. "Ryan?" she whispered, as if her mind was struggling to match the person in front of her with the memory she held on to. Ryan let out a small chuckle. "Hey, Maddie. It's been a while." A breathless laugh escaped her lips, her disbelief turning to something between shock and nostalgia. "A while? Try 10 years." She shook her head, still trying to process his presence. "What are you even doing here?" Ryan smirked. "I could ask you the same thing." Her smile wavered. For a moment, hesitation flickered in her eyes before she exhaled softly. Life took a few unexpected turns. Her voice was quiet. Let's just say things didn't go as planned. A pang of guilt twisted in Ryan's chest. While he had been building empires, Madeline had been giving up everything for her family. Instead of pressing for details, Ryan made a decision. "Are you free after your shift?" His voice was calm, yet firm. "I'd really like to talk." Madeline hesitated for a moment before nodding. "I get off in an hour." Ryan smiled. "Perfect. I'll wait." What she didn't know was, while she was still busy working, Ryan, one of the most powerful and influential billionaires, was already making a phone call. Because after tonight, Madeline's life would never be the same again. Madeline walked over to Ryan's booth, eyes still flickering with disbelief. "All right, Mr. Billionaire," she teased, sliding into the seat across from him. "Tell me, what's life like at the top?" Ryan smirked. "Busy, but let's not talk about me. What about you? Madeline, you were supposed to take over the publishing world." Her smile faded. She absently traced the rim of her coffee cup, her gaze drifting into the distance.
Life doesn't always go as planned. Her voice softened. My dad got sick right after graduation. I had to drop everything to take care of him. After he passed, I tried to start over, but things weren't as easy as I thought. Ryan felt a sharp pang in his chest. While he had been building a billion-dollar empire, Madeline had been sacrificing everything for her family, and no one even knew. "You were always the first person to believe in me," she said, a sad smile tugging at her lips. "And now, I'm just a waitress in a small diner." Ryan shook his head instantly. "No, you are not just a waitress. You are one of the smartest people I've ever known. And if life has taken away your chances, then maybe it's time I gave one back to you." Madeline frowned. "What do you mean?" Ryan didn't answer. Instead, he reached into his jacket pocket, pulled out a white envelope, and slid it across the table. She hesitated before picking it up, carefully opening it, and the moment she saw what was inside, her breath caught in her throat. Inside was a fully funded business proposal, a signed office lease in downtown Chicago, and $250,000 check to launch her dream publishing company. Her hand flew to her mouth, eyes wide with disbelief. "Ryan, what is this?" He smiled. "It's your future, the one you were meant to have. Let's build it together." Tears welled up in her eyes. I can't accept this. It's too much." Ryan leaned forward, his gaze unwavering. "Once upon a time, you helped me believe I could do the impossible. Now it's my turn." Madeline wiped her tears away, her heartbeat pounding in her chest. For years, she had convinced herself that her dreams were gone forever.
But in this one moment, they were back, stronger, more real than ever. And what she said next would change both of their lives forever. She took a deep breath, staring at the business proposal. Then, slowly, she folded the envelope shut, placed it on the table, and looked Ryan straight in the eyes. "I don't want a handout." Her voice was steady. Ryan's brows lifted in surprise. "Madeline, this isn't—" She raised a hand, stopping him. "But I do want a partner." Ryan blinked. Then, slowly, a smile spread across his face. "So you'll do it?" Determination flared in her eyes. "On one condition, I earn my place. No special treatment. We build this company together, just like we dreamed in college." Tech billionaire Ryan Carter leaned back, studying his old friend with pride. "Deal." They shook hands, and in that moment, Madeline felt something she had lost for years: hope. The next morning, she quit her job, packed her bags, and by the start of the new week, she was in Chicago, sitting in an office that was hers. Her journey had been long and filled with hardship, but in the end, she didn't just reclaim her dreams. She found the friend who had never stopped believing in her. And now, alongside a billionaire, she was about to build something extraordinary. In those early days in Chicago, Madeline had nothing but determination and a meticulously crafted business plan. But she knew success didn't come from a check. It came from hard work. Ryan had given her an office, but everything else
she had to build from the ground up. She worked 16-hour days, scouring for undiscovered talent, reading manuscripts late into the night. There were nights when exhaustion won, and she fell asleep at her desk. But each time, she reminded herself,
I'm fighting for my own dream. And because of that relentless perseverance, Brooklyn Publishing made its mark fast. The very first book they published, a debut novel by an unknown writer rejected by every major publisher, became an instant New York Times bestseller. Madeline understood, more than anyone, what it felt like to be overlooked, dismissed. That was why she built a company for the voices no one had listened to. For young authors, for dreamers who had doors slammed in their faces time and time again. Brooklyn Publishing gave them a place to begin. 3 years later, her company had published over 50 bestsellers, signing some of the most promising authors in the industry. She was featured in Forbes, telling the world about her journey from a waitress struggling to make ends meet to a publishing powerhouse. People called her the woman who never gave up. And the only person not surprised by her success was Ryan Carter. One late afternoon, Ryan walked into Brooklyn Publishing's sleek, buzzing headquarters, his eyes scanning the office with quiet pride. Madeline glanced up, flashing him a teasing grin. "So, Billionaire? Are you here to check on your investment?" He chuckled. "No, just here to remind you of something." He looked around, the rows of desks, the teams of passionate editors and designers, the company that had once been nothing but a dream on paper. Then he met her gaze. "You did this. On your own." Madeline inhaled deeply, turning to the massive window behind her. Chicago stretched before her, gleaming under the evening lights. She had once believed her dream had died, but she had fought her way back. No privilege, no shortcuts. And now, Brooklyn Publishing was one of the fastest-growing publishing houses in the country. Of course, the journey hadn't been easy. She turned back to Ryan, extending her hand. He clasped it firmly. "And this," she said, her voice steady, eyes gleaming, "is only the beginning." If you were Ryan, would you have helped Madeline? Have you ever reconnected with someone and realized their life had taken an unexpected turn? Share your thoughts in the comments. If this story resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe to spread positivity. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe to receive the latest updates. The stories are collected from various sources and do not represent any individual or organization. They are shared with the intention of spreading human values in life and have been rewritten with the support of AI. If there are any mistakes, kindly overlook them with understanding. Wishing you all the best in life.